Countdown to the Coronation. This is Veronika Hyks bringing you details of the upcoming coronation to get you up to speed with the arrangements before the great day. For most of us, this is the first coronation we will have witnessed, certainly if you're under 70 years of age. I do know that in 1953, only a tiny percentage of people had access to a television, and it would have been a small black and white one. We're told that friends and neighbours gathered around these little TVs in people's homes, for many the first time that they'd ever seen the flickering image on a screen. Well, now everything is available on every type of screen. But unless you're actually in the Abbey, facing the altar, you're just as dependent on a screen near you or what a TV presenter is telling you. And even if you're already setting up camp along the Mall or outside Westminster Abbey to be part of the great day, there's a lot of information that you might miss with 3 weeks to go. So, with 3 weeks to go, here's the first of a series of described introductions to the coronation to prepare you for what is to come. I begin with the invitation, which has been sent out to 2,000 guests. They are a mix of what used to be called the great and the good, members of the royal family, and that includes royal cousins from here and from abroad, important politicians, and other people who represent offices of state within the UK and elsewhere. 850 valued members of society, community volunteers who've been awarded a British Empire Medal, and key workers, particularly those identified as heroes of the pandemic. So let's take a look at this cheerful and welcoming design by Andrew Jameson, a heraldic artist and manuscript illuminator whose work is inspired by the themes of Arthurian legend. Mr. Jameson is a brother of the Art Workers Guild, of which the King is an honorary member. The original artwork for the invitation was hand-painted in watercolour and gouache. The design has been reproduced and printed on recycled card with gold foil detailing. This very jolly design puts us in mind of the special invitation that was designed for young Prince Charles, who was 4 at the time of his mother's coronation. That invitation was adorned with marching trumpeters and drummers in bearskin hats, chests puffed out, a seated lion and a unicorn looking very amiably at each other against a backdrop of green foliage and flowers, and the Union Jack draped over a classical column and a tall oak tree. The 2023 invitation has a similar feel. It's about 5.5 inches long and 4 inches wide. Around its edges there's a broad border about 1.5 inches in width, bursting with colour and delicate detail. The design that goes all the way around the border is of a wildflower meadow, featuring lily of the valley, cornflowers, wild strawberries, dog roses, pansies, daffodils, a shamrock, a thistle, snowdrops, bluebells, and a sprig of rosemary, which is a symbol of remembrance. Flowers appear in groupings of 3, signifying the king becoming the 3rd monarch of his name. Along with the flora, the fauna includes a bee, a butterfly, a ladybird, a wren, and a robin. And if you look closely in amongst the flowers, you can spot a unicorn, a lion, and a boar skulking in the undergrowth. Which leads us to the 2 coats of arms adorning the top left and right-hand side of the invitation. The one on the left is King Charles's own, with the red and gold Tudor crown in the centre above the crowned lion on the left, and the unicorn symbolising Scotland on the right, both creatures on their hind legs facing inwards on either side of the royal shield, their claws and hoofs holding on to a blue-buckled garter that's draped around the shield and embossed in gold with the words "Honi soit qui mal y pense," evil to him who evil thinks, the motto of the Order of the Garter. Beneath the shield, a rippling banner with more gold lettering spells out Dieu et mon droit, God and my right, which is the motto of the British monarch. The shield in the centre is quartered. In the 1st and 4th quarter, the seated lion symbols of the United Kingdom, England and Wales. In the 2nd, the rampant lion of Scotland. And in the 4th, the harp of Ireland. The coat of arms on the right-hand side of the invitation is that of Queen Camilla, combining features of her husband's coat of arms, the Battenberg-Windsors, and that of the Shand family. So, you have the same Tudor crown with semi-precious stones encrusted into its base, The lion on the left-hand side of the shield, but on the right he's faced by a rather ferocious-looking Asia blue boar, holding onto the same blue-buckled garter embossed with the words Oniswaki Malipans, and that is an indication that Queen Camilla is also a member of the Order of the Garter. The left-hand side of the central shield again features the lion symbols of England and Wales, the rampant lion of Scotland, and the harp of Ireland. The right-hand side displays a white boar's head, beneath two red stars or mullets flanking the knobbly cross of Camilla's father, Bruce Shand. Dominating the centre of the bottom of the invitation, there's a green male head, otherwise known as the Green Man, an ancient figure from British folklore, symbolic of spring and rebirth, to celebrate this new reign. The thinking is that the Green Man alerts us to King Charles's indefatigable and progressive green credentials, reflecting his many years of environmental campaigning. The artwork depicts this folkloric head crowned in natural foliage formed of leaves of oak, ivy and hawthorn, with the emblematic flowers of the United Kingdom, the daffodil, the rose, the shamrock and the thistle. So finally to the words of the invite inside a thin gold border in the centre. In italicized blue manuscript alternating with non-italicized capitals, the invitation is headed, "The Coronation of Their Majesties King Charles III and Queen Camilla. By command of the King, the Earl Marshal is directed to invite," and this is where your name would appear, "to be present at the Abbey Church of Westminster on the 6th day of May, 2023. The invitation is signed Norfolk, who is the Earl Marshal, who traditionally has the responsibility of organising the coronation, with the Norfolk crest in faint print beneath the signature. And if by any chance you don't receive an invitation through the official channels, copies of the invite can be downloaded, with a blank space left for your name in the centre, so that you can pop the invitation on your mantelpiece. This is Countdown to the Coronation, with me, Veronika Hyks. For more described insights, just click on the links as they appear and tell your friends.